Okay, here we go. This is the briefing for the week of December 23rd. A look at what you missed from the headlines. Let's dive into it. President Donald Trump's approval ratings among service members continue to decline, according to a new poll by Military Times. A survey of more than 1,600 active duty troops found that half of service members rate the president's job performance as unfavorable, and 45% found him very unfavorable. Trump's numbers are still higher than President Barack Obama's when he left office in 2017, but his approval has been in decline since the first survey of his performance in 2016. The president had his highest favorability among white, non-Hispanic troops, but saw 60% of officers rate his performance as unfavorable. View our full coverage of the survey at militarytimes.com. On to the next one. Troops will not get an exemption in a congressional plan to raise the legal age for buying cigarettes to 21. While leaders had considered excluding military members from the new restriction, lawmakers now say the ban will affect everyone under 21, no exceptions. The new law brings tobacco in line with alcohol for the minimum age to buy and is expected to reduce smoking-related illness rates significantly over time. Let's keep it here for the next one. The National Defense Authorization Bill will authorize a host of new special immigrant visas for interpreters who worked with U.S. forces in the war in Afghanistan. Up to 4,000 of the visas could be approved in an effort to aid some of the Afghan nationals who worked closely with troops on the ground on a daily basis, often at great risk. Now, some news out of the Navy. China has commissioned its second aircraft carrier, the first one built entirely within the country. President Xi Jinping was on hand for the ceremony on the Shandong, named for a province in the east of China. It was rebuilt from the hull of a former Soviet-era boat sold to China by Ukraine. And a Pearl Harbor veteran, known for being the second-to-last sailor to escape the stricken USS Arizona, was laid to rest on the sunken battleship. Divers wearing throwback diving suits laid the urn of Lauren Bruner on the hollowed hull of the ship, sunk by the Japanese in the December 7, 1941 attack. Bruner died in September at the age of 98. This year marks the 15th anniversary of the Second Battle of Fallujah, one of the bloodiest fights of the Iraq War and the biggest bout of urban combat since the Vietnam War. The now retired 16th Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps, Carlton Kent, who was on the ground during the fight, offered some thoughts on the anniversary.
My name's Carlton Kent. At the time during the Battle of Fallujah, I was the 1st Marine Expeditionary Force Sergeant Major. The enemy came in from all the areas of the Middle East, pretty much, and they was fested right there in the city of Fallujah.
Lower! Target!
It was fierce fighting, combat. I mean, this was fighting going house to house to house to house constantly. And the Marines, the soldiers, sailors, and airmen didn't know who was on that other side of that door once they kicked that door in and they go into the house. I think people need to know that the men and women that fought during the Second Battle of Fallujah is the same as any generation of the military. So if I could tell America anything, that these young men and women sacrificed during the Battle of Fallujah, and they fought hard. It wasn't an easy fight, but they overcame. And they engaged the enemy, and they showed the enemy, don't mess with us.
All right, let's address the biggest story in the military this week. Top Gun 2 dropped its newest trailer recently. We can't not show you some of it. Enjoy.
Good morning, aviators. This is your captain speaking. Today's exercise is dogfighting.
2 versus 1? Hey, he's got to be kidding. What the hell?
Wrong helmets, but whatever. For more on these stories and others, head to militarytimes.com and the social apps you tap on your phone. We'll be off next week for the holiday, but we'll see you in 2020 with more coverage. Have a great holiday.